Hello. Can you guys hear me? I think it's okay, right? Is the BGM okay? Kana daijoubu kana? Hold on, give me one moment. Wait for a while, please. Hold on for a sec. Oh, I can't hear anything. Okay. Oh, I think it's the setting. Just give me one moment. Just one moment for a while. Yes, I'm audible. Thank you. Okay. The BGM is audible? Because I can't hear it for myself, which is it's kind of bad. Hold on. Give me a moment to fix it. Give me a moment to fix it. Yo. I can't hear anything. That's I can't hear it for my amp for some reason. I don't know why. Wait. Sorry. Why can't I hear it? The mic also radio. What's monitoring devices? Speakers. Sony. I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, is it because I think it's this one. Hold on. Sorry, technical issues for a while. Please wait for a moment. I think it's this. Mic. No, it's. Yeah, it's working. What the fuck? Okay. Nah. Anyways. It's okay. I don't need to hear the BGM. It's fine. But anyways, hello. Okay, I'm gonna start with the introduction. I'm so sorry for the scuff technological issues back there. But let's just, start over. Tomorrow I'm gonna steal Moon, but today I'm gonna steal your heart. Oh, Hazumi, if you're in the morning, konbanzumi. If you're not, I hope you have a great day today. And welcome to a pretty chill stream. I see. And hi, Izumi, how many people who came to the call out yesterday? Oh, hello. I'll call you Wizard. Is it okay? I'll call you Wizard. Hello, Wizard, and welcome, and hope you enjoy your stay. So yes, if you guys new from the collab, so come, feel free to say hi. I normally do gaming. I mean, drawing is my main, and then the next is gaming, and sometimes I will do podcasts like this if I do enough research. So I will do something like this. So I will just sit down, and then we will talk about a certain topic. You mean just talking? Technically, yes. Technically, I mean, like, podcast is about talking, so it's kind of like zatsu/podcast with a bit of in-depth of researching involved, which I do have a script on hand with me, so that I know that what am I talking about. But hello everyone, welcome. We are back to IzumiCafe, where here we serve coffee and conversations. Yes. Yes, how do you like the BGM? Because I cannot hear a thing, but I believe that you guys can hear everything. It's a BGM, it's a very jazzy BGM that I really like a lot, and it really gives me like the persona feels without giving me some copyrights. Sorry. So please enjoy the BGM too. Comfy jazz BGM, yeah, I know, right? But today I'm gonna be using my very calm voice. I try my best. No guarantees I will have that tone until the rest of the stream, and it really depends on if I remember not to engage them, because I think that my genkiness would just pop up out of nowhere. But rest assured, I wouldn't scream at your ears unless I'm pairing Sekiro, so that's fine. Yes, so hello everyone, so welcome. So today we are going to talk about S relationship. And I think like if you watch the first episode of my podcast, IzumiCafe, so we do talk about Yuri, a brief introduction about Yuri. So that introduction itself is more based on my field of research. So people who are new, so I'm not a researcher, but I'm a master student, a master degree holder right now. Master degree holder, and my final paper was revolving around media and LGBTQ, and also Yuri in particular. So I would like to have this chance to share my findings with you guys, because I think that is very fascinating, and here we are. That's why we are going to talk about in depth about Yuri, because Yuri is a very big subject as well. There's a lot of things that we can talk about actually, and hope you guys are ready, you know. So the whole thing about the podcast is the podcast stream is like, you know, since it's not like a podcast, it's not pre-recorded ones, so we can kind of have like engage in like a discussion, or if you have any questions regarding a certain field or what am I talking about, you know, feel free to just comment, feel free ask in the chat, you know. If I will try my best to answer it. I mean, I'm kind of like the expert, but not really like too expert. I mean, depends on like what kind of questions. I will try my best to answer them, and or you know, if you have your own opinions as well, you know, feel free to you know, just type in the chat too. So yes, so without further ado, let's start our episode 2, which is we go in depth on the S relationship, which is about Yuri. So S relationship is actually like a biggest trope in the Yuri genre itself. It can be seen in Maria-sama ga Miteru, which is like the most popular ones if you guys read Yuri or watch Yuri. So it's a relationship that's formed between, like, you know, older student and also younger student, of course girls, and they are between the all girls high school. So what we are going to cover in this stream today is the origin of S relationship, or what is S relationship in depth itself, and also we are going to cover girls private space. So we are going way back to the Meiji period to see like what's happening in the girls school, how is this culture form, and how does this transfer into media itself, and also how does it put into like literacy, because back in the days they don't have the thing called manga, they only have like literacy, like most of it is like ukiyo or like novels in the sense. So we are going to see the text, not really that much in depth, not like go in depth into like what kind of text is showing this and that, but I'll be mentioning a little bit of the text, not really that in depth. So just to give you like a brief review about that. Sorry, I keep S relationship, S kanke, S relationship. Maybe I should say like S relationship. All the way back to Meiji period. Yeah, it started from there actually. Okay, so let's start with the origin of S relationship. And what is S relationship, not ASS relationship, okay? So S relationship stands for the English letter S. So it starts from S is an acronym meaning sister, so it's a sister relationship. So since girls in this relationship, they refer to each other as one-sama and imoto. So we have imoto who really looks up to one-sama. You know, when you watch Maria-sama ga miteru, or all those kinds of Yuri that is involved in between inside like all girls school, you will say onisa, one-sama suteki desu ne, or like gokigen yo, something like that. Yes, that is as relationship, technically. Yes. And then, so S kanke, as relationship in Japanese, S kanke were very common among schoolgirls, especially between 1920 and 1930. So the bonds, they were based on spiritual love, and they represent a sentimental / sexual experimentation for young women before they step into adulthood. So as relationship represent a stage of schoolgirls' emotional development and was seen as inherently platonic. Thus, generally, they are accepted by society given that they were supposed to last only during the high school years. So this is this is just like a summary before we dive deep into like the private space of the girls' school itself. Just join Naruhoden doesn't Naruhoden. It's okay, Izumi, you can just sit back and relax and have your coffee, or you know, doing anything. Hey sis, you know Kiss at 6. Kiss at 6 is also some. Oh no, that's a different. No, that's a different anime. No. Just forget what I said. But anyways, we're going back to the topic. So the next one, I would like to dive in depth is the girls' private space, which is the all-girls school. So we are going back to like the 1920s and to see how it all started. So why do common Yuri tropes always happens in girls' school, and it's always involved in the senior and junior, and most of it, you know, they lack the presence of a male character, right? So it all dates back into like way back in history, right? Secondary schooling for the girls became widely available in the Taisho period, which is 1912 to 1926, and the early Showa period is around like 1926. So it's around that period. So the culture of the girls' schools became the aspirational norm of girlhood. Separated from the boys, the girls' student created their own private world with an aesthetic of sentimentalism and purity. So while girls' school in the early to mid-Meiji were controversial and offered educational opportunities to girls, by the early 20th century, there was a widespread acceptance of secondary education as appropriate for daughters from middle and upper class. So the girls' high school law in 1899 ensures a standardized curriculum for an emphasis on Confucian values and loyal to the state. So as a result, the overall percentage of the girls who graduate from secondary schools rose sharply after the late Meiji and the early Showa. So the attendance tended to be concentrated in urban areas and among the middle and upper class. So this is a very crucial point because only the girls, the daughters from middle and the upper class can attain secondary education. So schoolgirls in this distinctive sailor suit uniform became a visible and viable figure embodying the privilege and urban sophistication. Yes. And many girls' schools, they were founded by Christian missionaries, but most offered education that were largely secular. So most girls who attend these schools were not Christian and did not continue religious practice after graduation. In spite of the lack of religious sentiment, however, mission school had a positive reputation not only for academic excellence, but also for fostering chastity, refinement, and sophistication. So girls' missionary schools were considered appealing, westernized, and modern. At the same time, the strict prohibition on any contact with boys attempt to ensure the chastity and the purity of the student. So this is also a very main point where they strictly prohibit any contact of boys, which also leads to like the enclosed space of the girls' private space. So the girls' culture took shape within these schools, both religious and also secular. So before that, let's talk about the concept of spiritual love. So we are going to dive deep into spiritual love, which exists between the Edo period and Meiji period, and also the westernized concept of spiritual love itself. So this concept is derived from Christianity via literary discourse in Japan and became an important part of girls' culture. So spiritual love in Japanese is called renai. So it's a different word. If you know Japanese, so renai means love itself, but in this context is refers more onto spiritual love, which is a concept that is derived from the Western idea. So this spiritual love, renai, was first coined in 1874, brought in by the Westernization in the Meiji period. So the importance of this Western idea of spiritual love represents like a significant break from the Edo period conceptions of love. So before Meiji, the closest term correspond to this idea of love were ninjo, which is in English is called human emotions, and iro, which is lust, and both which lack of the spiritual dimension associated with the love in the European literature. So in Edo fiction that portrays heterosexual relationships, the geisha represents the space of lust, while the wife maintains the household. So when iro means the lust, leaves the pleasure quarters for the domestic sphere, the results are disastrous. So it shows that in Ihara Sakaku Koshoku Gonin Onna, so this is the literature, 5 Women Who Love. It was published in 1685, right? A collection of 5 merchant classes, wife and daughters, who act on their desires rather than according to the laws of the society and are all punished in the end. And usually it's by execution, so death sentence. But in comparison, the 19th century British and American novels, romantic love ideally leads to marriage and back to the family and social order. So we can see the difference here between like the Edo and the Western literature itself. So in Edo fiction, the only possible resolution was death, either through execution or double suicide. So the double suicide I will also dive deep a little bit later on. And also homosexual relationships, especially between men, were common in the Edo period, and also eroticized images of beautiful boys as well. Chop head, chop chop, chop down. So in the literary terms, iro before the Meiji meant that the proper realm of love stories, quote unquote love stories, was the pleasure quarters, which is the geisha, the prostitutions, and also the sex workers itself. So because they are interesting women characters. So when the word iro shifted from an erotic ideal to a quote unquote dirty word, so literary reformers such as Tsubochi Tsuyo, so this is a guy's name, promoted to a new genre of novel as a form of high art as it was in the West, and argued that the proper subject of the novel should be the middle class family. So as a result, love interests shifted from geisha to the daughters of the middle and the upper class, which is the Meiji girl students, which we also called the shoujo. Right. So the implications of new idea of renai for courtship and marriage was made in Kitamura's Tokoku's essay, Ensei Shika to Josei. So Pessimistic Poets and Women was published in 1892. So the statement in the essay was stated, love is a secret key to humanity. So this statement itself elevates the status of love, cutting it off from the Buddhist conception of sinfulness and carnal lust, and endow it with a spiritual properties. So by endowing love with spiritual dimension, Tokoku elevates women, the love interest, to a divine status. So the romantic love for Tokoku is wholly spiritual. There's no body involved. There's no physical touch involved, so it's a wholly spiritual level. So the most important aspect of this courtship was not physical attraction, but the intellectual conversations, a joining of souls rather than the body itself. Yeah, device. How this said. So going back to the students, so the girl students in Meiji, young women of the middle and upper class, who at least in theory will be the recipients of the spiritual love. Thus, girls had to be well educated and able to speak of intellectual matters with men. So spiritual love constitute a significant change in the rules of courtship as well. So in the old system, marriage was arranged by the families, and courtships and flirtation properly belong to the pleasure quarters. So you can only flirt with the geishas and the prostitutions. You cannot flirt with your significant other, because the marriage were already arranged. So you flirt or not flirt, it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same. You're gonna marry to them anyway. So the geisha distinguish themselves their abilities at singing, dancing, writing poetry, exchanging playful banter, wear extravagant clothing. While the merchant class daughter were expected to be chaste, they were also expect to have at least some of the geisha's accomplishments, usually playing shamisen or composing poetry. To be the woman at that time period. So basically, you need to have all the geishas compliments. Like you need to know how to play shamisen, you know how to play poetry, you know how to play chess, you need to know how to talk to men, engage in intellectual talk with men, while remain modest. Technically, it's what it says. Yeah. So the appearance as well, the appearance too, they are expected to be modest as well. So girls educated in mission schools, they adopt a relatively simple European hairstyles and refuse to wear the heavy white makeup in the Edo period. So you can see like the shifting between the Edo period to Meiji, where after they enroll into a missionary school. Yeah. Yes. So, according to the new morality of Renai, they were expected to speak freely with men on the intellectual issues, but not to behave in the flirtatious manner. Yeah. Basically, be smart enough to be interesting to me, but not be smarter than men, so the men don't end up feeling stupid. I think so that one I'm not really sure about that. So basically, they will say that you need to have like a similar intellectual thoughts, and so that you can engage with the man. So that it's also seen as like a flirtatious matter, right? Where you can see that in the geishas, geishas, they will learn like dance, they will learn how to read and write, just to appeal with the man, just to show that I have all these accomplishments. So the more accomplishments you get, the more higher status you are, the more like people will pay for you in order to get your entertainment. So technically, because geishas not only sleep with men, but they also provide like they are also entertainers. Yeah, at the same time. But this one is also a very interesting topic where you can dive deep about the geishas and the Oiran as well, and the red light districts in the Edo period itself, because I think like there's a lot of stories like regarding their lives too. And I think one thing you can relate to that is the the anime of the, oh no, I only know the Japanese one though, Kusuriya no Hitorigoto, which is the help me, Kusuriya no, do you know the Mao Kusuriya no Hitorigoto, the apothecary diaries. Yes, that one. So that one also you can see like back in China. So China and Japan, they do share similar cultures too. So you can see like the, what's it called? They're called prostitutions, right? Yeah. So they also have like the ranking system. So you can see like the women, they are really good in chess too. Yeah, and then and then people will come by and just to have chats, and then they have some wrestling in bed sometimes, Mao, okay, yes. So you basically need a master degree to entertain back in the day. I think so. I think that you need to be well educated to entertain your husband, but not be flirtatious. They play back in the times, they don't have Monopoly, they only have the chess. So after they play like the Chinese chess or the Go and the Japanese chess, and then they'll probably wrestle in bed, who knows, So anyways, we'll go back to this matter. So now I talk about Ren'ai, and I'll talk about the system of Ren'ai Iro as well, right? So this system, both of the system became like the prime subject of the literatures back in the days. Now the central dilemma was the conflict between the new and the old system of courtship, and it reflects like the larger social upheavals of the early Meiji. However, as Ren'ai became the standard of behavior among middle and upper class, the problem shifted to a more explicitly to maintaining the chastity of shoujo, which is schoolgirls, while praising her appeal. So the entrance of the daughters of the urban and the urban middle and upper class into the public discourse as an object of desire was a major shift in both social reality and paradigmic modes of fiction writing. So the new characters of shoujo came to stand as the anxieties of modernization. So this is also the same power play, which is like, you know, it started from the Edo to the Meiji period, and even until right now, you know, this is called shoujo, right? The new character of shoujo came to be like the anxieties of the modernization, which is sexualizing teenage girls and then punishing them for their acting on their sexuality, and celebrating both their fascination and their threat. And they continue throughout the 20th century, rediscovered by each generation and hailed as a new problem. So for example, the modern girls in the 1920s, and I think everybody will know this, gyaru. You know, gyaru is also one of it. You know, it's so like shoujo can stand by its own, but it's also punished by the patriarchy discourse as well. So literature, cinema, and other mass media, they also use the same power play to write shoujo, and also they were consumed by adults. Yes, and they create panic over new iterations of the independent shoujo. So at the same time, a separate girls' culture started to emerge. Ooh, this is the fun part, and one that was defined quite differently from spiritual love, where this discourse is not for marriage or heterosexual romance, but for defining girls' relationship with each other. And we're going back to the homosociality and the ass relationships. Yeah. So Japanese language scholarship, they operates on the assumption that female-female romantic relationships in girls' culture were part of the transitory adolescent state and did not imply a lesbian persona. So through the 1920s and the 1930s, homosexual acts or desires did not necessarily indicate a homosexual identity. So the term dosei, which is translate from Japanese called same-sex love, was invented at the beginning of the 20th century by a Japanese sexologist to indicate close bonds of girls. But this term was argued to be a clinical one used to pathologize girls' culture. So as class or as relationship is commonly used to describe the intimate bonds between girls. As the term dosei or lesbian or homosexual, they are fraught with political, social, and clinical meanings. So they are like kind of different meanings. So that's why they will use as class or as relationship to describe their bonds. Because technically this bond is like, you can say that it's passionate friendship, or you can say it's also romantic. So it lies between like the lines of like, it's very, yeah, you don't know. That's also one of the beauty of it. You know, it's up for interpretation whether you want to treat it as they're just best friends, you know, very, very good friends. Kiss your homies goodnight, yo. Or you want to say, oh no, they are gay. They're literally gay, you know, like that. So yeah, so that's as relationship for you, right? And as relationship, they were seen to be healthy and normal as long as these relationships did not go quote-unquote too far, which is refusing to give up on said relationship after graduation. So, for those people who consume Yuri, did you realize that one trope is more about... one of the trope is more about like being in high school, and then they don't show like what happens after high school. If you consume more on the contemporary Yuri works, that's a bit different because, you know, times have changed, the way they bring out stories is also different. The way they bring out of the social values is also different. But if you see back in the days, like Maria-sama ga miteru, the ones in the 1990s or the ones that in the 2000s, you know, most of them they stop at high school. Their whole story period stop at high school itself. So why is that? Because of this 8S relationships. Because once you go too far, aka too far, so it's not really an as relationship anymore. So this relationship should be cut off after graduation, and you go back to marry a man or having relationship with a man. Yeah. So as relationships are not necessarily pathologized, nor they were subversive. Rather, they mimic the heterosexual courtships in the safe, socially acceptable way. So as relationship seems to be accepted as part of a girls' school until the double suicide of 2 girls in Niigata. So schools attempt to prevent girls from forming the as relationship after this incident, but eventually they stop their attempts to control them because they say that, oh, it's healthy. It's the way, you know, they say it's a phase. As relationship become more widespread, tolerance for intimacy between girls seem to have increased among sexologists and educators. So right now, I will be dive a little bit in depth on the double suicide and what is double suicide, especially in the Japanese context itself. So I will be... Do I need to have a warning of that? I will be talking about suicide. Yes, taking your own life. Yes. Okay. So in Japanese, so double suicide is referred to shinju, and it's commonly used for suicide cases consisting of 2 or more individuals, usually bound by love. So in most cases, they are lovers, but they can also be parents and children, or even the whole families. So this should be not confused with muri shuji, which is a double suicide without consent, aka murder suicide. So it's different. So the double suicide mostly, like, it's called shinju. You can look it up. So shinju is more on like you have the consent of everybody and they take their lives together in a group itself. So in Japan, like, suicide has not always been regarded negatively. Instead, it has often been considered as an honorable deed. So it is an apology for committing a misdeed or wrong behavior. For example, samurai cutting their abdomens in the act of harakiri or seppuku, as is the more preferred term. Right? In the past, some Buddhist priests even recommend people to commit suicide as a way to achieve religious ecstasy. So double suicide is a different matter though. It is assumed that it will not be acceptable as double suicide is antisocial and suggests a kind of freedom of love, especially dying for love. So in 1703, a play called Double Suicide in Sonezaki ignites a boom of suicide, a love suicide, plays that idealize the tragic fate of star-crossed lovers. So this play inspired many young couples to follow the plays to prove their love. Oops. When you recommend Sudoku, yeah, I'm recommending Sudoku to you. So the kanji used for double Sudoku, suicide, can be literally translated as heart inside or inside the mind, shinju. Shinju was originally used as an expression, shinju date, which means to prove a faithful love between the courtesan and her customer. So this proof was in the form of a letter vowing love, a few strands of hair, a tattoo, or even a cut of a finger. You cut your finger. Okay. If the love does not prove to be true, then suicide was seen as the last and only way to prove one's love. By dying together, the lovers believe they will be reunited in heaven. This was endorsed too by the feudal teaching at the time that husband and wife would continue to share a bond in the afterlife, while the bond between the parent and the child only exists in this world. But hair? Which hair? Which hair? Interesting, since the West of Romeo and Juliet. Yes, yeah, Romeo and Juliet is also the thing about like star-crossed lovers, and then they ended up double suicide together. But Romeo and Juliet is more on like they unalive each other, right? But this one is more on like, let's unalive together. Let's unalive our life together. Yeah, that's a similarity between that too. So we go back. Now we know a little bit of the background of the double suicide. So we go back to the case of the two girls who double unalive themselves in Niigata. So this is also the start of the trope of the S relationship. So as I mentioned before, S culture is an escape from a reality, a liminal space. So it's a freedom where they are allowed in this secret, quote-unquote secret emotions, with the understanding that it will eventually end. So as long as these feelings are confined within their adolescence, then they are considered normal and perhaps even spiritual. Right. So in this influence and is part of why female homosexuality in Japan is considered a phase that women will grow out to be good wives and mothers. Yeah. Yorosai So this period of time is meant only to be temporarily, a dream that this young woman will eventually wake up from. So the feeling of affection towards another young girl should not continue into their adulthood. So when it does, it becomes abnormal. So it's pathologized. In those cases, facing criticism and judgment from the society, their relationship becomes a nightmare. So there was this case that occurred in July 26, 1911 in Itoigawa in the Niigata prefecture. It was a double suicide incident between two women, Teiko Sone, which is 20 years old, and Tamae Okamura, which is also 20 years old. So they were close friends, quote-unquote close friends, during school, which most people assume would. Most of the relationships do. They end as they enter adulthood. So they have they form a bond of the S relationship. Instead, they continue to remain close. So rumors that they were having an affair not only affected their respective marriage, but their fathers got involved. So they were pushed into a corner, and this eventually led to them running away together and jumping into the sea. So this is not only the instance of this kind of incidents. There are also many cases, even outside of Japan itself, where the S culture is regarded as pathological and suppressed. And additionally, there are also a lot of literary works that illustrate and explore such topics. So one of the prominent women that we all like, who wrote the first Yuri narratives, is Nobuko Yoshiya. So she is one of the writers who works convey the themes of friendship between women. So her stories illustrate the platonic love between girls, exploring their developed relationships that strengthen their bonds of love and sisterhood. So in her work Hana Monogatari, which is the famous ones, or it's called Flower Story in English. So there are like 7 girls gathered in a mansion who each share a story related to a flower. So these stories have various characters and relationships, such as a girl and a girl, or a girl and an older sister. So mostly the girls being pals. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So the common theme is that they are all women. So men hardly make an appearance in Hana Monogatari, or maybe not at all. So one of the stories, it's called Burning Flower. It's about a female student and a rich man who had escaped from a repressive marriage. So the wife and the two fell in love, but in the end, they have to step into the flames hand in hand. Yeah. So this is one of the quotes from the story itself. So most of stories from Hana Monogatari are tragic, a reflection of the gender inequality in the Japanese society at the time. So there is this feeling of helplessness in such a society. So it seems that there are only 2 options. You can only die for love, or you give up your feelings to become wives, or to stay in the relationship technically. So however, another novel by Nobuko Yoshiya challenged this reality. So it's called Two Virgins in an Attic. So it's a semi-autobiographical novel where 2 girls make the decisions to live together like a heterosexual couple. So unlike most S novels, this didn't end in a tragedy. So it was a bold move challenged by the common idea that teenage homosexuality was normal, and eventually it would develop back to heterosexuality. So it also shows that girls could make such a quote-unquote deviant choice for themselves. So to have an agency in making choices. So this is also something that is still difficult for the society back then to accept as well. Yes. So this is about the case, and then we talk about our famous Nobuko Yoshiya-san, and then we go back to the as relationships about the tropes itself. So what kind of tropes that we can see that is implied in Yuri itself. So class S usually exists within the context of all-girls school. It needs to be an all-girls school as long as both girls maintain the feminine characteristics. So the couples need to remain female characteristics, or at least like something that is similar together. So they usually exhibit like the same modes of dress, for example, same school outfits or same speech, gokigen yo, and behaviors and oneself, behave like a ojo-sama. So the pattern of as relationships that emerge in the novels serialized in girls' magazines usually involves an older girl and a younger girl at the same girls' school. So the younger girl develops an idealized yearning, which is called akogare, for her senpai, who she refers as one-sama, be like, one-sama, sticky desu ne. And then one-sama will come and fling the hair. Oh, I have such perfect grades. I'm so athlete, I can play the basketball, I can do anything, And then all of the like the young kohais, they will be like, oh my god, sticky desu ne, one-sama, kochi mite kudasai, kochi mite kudasai, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Although there are also stories about relationships between girls of the same age, the longing for an idealized senpai who can be addressed as a kind older sister, which is one-sama, was strong. So the older sister was seen always to take the more active, aggressive role, and the younger is seen as the passive role. So we can also see that it kind of also mimics like the heterosexual dynamics as well. So there is no mention of these girls' feelings for each other for being shameful or forbidden. So the language used and poetic metaphors, usually flowers, are used to emphasize on purity itself. So in contrast, any contact with the boys was by implications is called impure. They are not pure, Other than that, as relationship was not only safe because it was considered innocent, but also it also gave the girls agency in expressing their desires. So the whole all-girls school, the enclosed space itself, it helps the girls to express their own desires and also explore their self, and also the spiritual love to have a relationship for with whoever they want, according to what their heart tells them. Because once they graduate from high school, they were expected to marry like someone that is already arranged by their families, and they have no say in that. So that's why like we do have a lot of cases of double suicide, because they most of the girls, they don't want to marry to people who they never met before. And unfortunately, this happens in reality, not only in literature itself as well. Right. So the prevalence of as relationship among girls and their roles as a defining aspect of social interactions in girls' schools fostered a preference for uniformity within girls' culture. So within this culture itself, the romantic ideal leaned towards homogender, which confrontation with those who perceive as different were avoided. So they avoided the opposite sex technically. So there's no homogender, right? While this relationship emerged in the cultural context where premarital sex was prohibited and all social interactions between teenage boys and girls were strictly controlled, the inclination towards sameness persists in girls' cultures today. So this can be seen despite the relaxation of the restriction of girls' sexual activity and the widespread of adoption of co-education. Still in Japan, social activities, particularly among teenagers, they still largely revolve around the same gender social circles. Yes, moreover, just an extra tip, as relationships were also the forerunners of boys love manga, BL manga, and the preference for homosexual romance in girls comic. For the BL manga, it will be the next topic, or the next topic. But eventually we will go into that. So like why is BL manga so popular within like women especially, and why is like, and it's really interesting when you can see like BL manga is more catered towards women, and also created by women itself. Yeah. So that's actually summarize my whole my whole script for tonight. So if you have any questions, any comments, you know, you can type in the chat. Flowers as a metaphor for female purity. Yeah. This is actually true. I mean, like, technically Yuri, right? Yuri means white lady. Oh, I didn't say that. So this is also revolving around like missionary schools as well. For like why girls love female romantic relationship is called Yuri. So Yuri means lily, right? And when we talk about Yuri, we think about white lily itself. So why is it white lily? Because back in the time, like, white lily in Christianity represents purity and innocence, and it links back to Mother Mary. But so, you know, as like missionary schools, you know, they become like more secular, only like the meaning of innocent and purity leaves. Yeah, only that it leaves like the meaning of purity and innocence. Suddenly my brain just fogs up. I don't know how to make a sentence. Yeah. And then so like the whole like religious has been like taken away. It's just don't exist as time goes by. Is that why they always go pick flowers? Go pick Michati, I think. I want to know that for GL manga. So GL manga, so GL or Yuri. So why so if why is BL and not yaoi? And why is Yuri not called GL, Ghost Love? So there are a lot of like connotations, and then there are a lot of debates between it, right? Like why is there's shoujo ai too, there's also GL, then why is Yuri? So Yuri is actually it's a word that is a genre that has been the genre itself is very new. Like it's been coined from 2003, where the magazine, the girls magazine, they say that, oh, you know what, let's call it Yuri Hime. And then so that magazine became like the biggest Yuri magazine. And then up until now, I mean, right now we have a lot of Yuri magazine as well. Not only at Yuri Hime, but Yuri Hime remains the oldest and also the most prevalent ones. So they are the ones who are responsible for like let's make it a genre itself. Like let's make it like Yuri, and then from there, you know, the Yuri boom just spreads. Just like how BL does. Like, why is it BL but not yaoi? Or another word in contrast to Yuri is bara too. So bara means roses. So where did this come from? So bara for the men's side, for the gay men's side. So bara is actually from the magazine itself. So it's quite a long time, like 1970, the magazine. So there was like a editor say that, oh, you know, let's create like a column. It's called barazoku. So barazoku means rose tribe. So it's for the gay men. And then Yuri tribe, which is Yurizoku, it's for the women itself. Yeah. Yes. I learned something new tonight. Yeah, no problem. You can thank the Portuguese for the longevity. Thank you, Portuguese. Thank you, the Western side, for bringing spiritual love into the Japan. To make them confused for their whole life. They'll be like, huh? Why do we need spiritual connection with our wives and family? You know. Bara means rose. Yeah, bara means roses. Yeah. So like you can say akabara, aoibara. Aoibara means blue roses. Yeah. Anyways, if you have any questions or if you have any comments, or if you have like things that you don't understand from what I just talk about, you know, feel free to just ask around, and or if you want me to talk in depth about a certain topic related to, you know, Yuri BL, I think I will find a time to have like a stream, an individual stream itself, an episode to talk about, because BL has a lot of stuff to talk about actually. Like I'm not really into the field of BL because I do more on the Yuri side. BL is very interesting. BL, you can see in terms of like why is their audience women but not gay men, and you can talk about like the dynamics in the couplings as well. Why is it women are so drawn to gay mangas? And also women are the one who make BL too, you know. And this is a very interesting thing too. So if you think that BL is made from women, right? Women writers were the ones who make BL even until now, right? So what about Yuri though? Then this is a quiz. What do you think about Yuri? I'm gonna drink water while you guys talk. Gonna drink. Hold on. Any other answers? Hello, Vian. Welcome to the stream. Yes. Okay. So, do you want to answer? Drummer, please. It's made by women. Yes, it's mostly made by women. So technically, because it falls as, do you know why? Because it falls under the category of shoujo manga. So that's why I talk a little bit in depth about the shoujo culture and the shoujo itself, because it's categorized under shoujo manga. And then who do you think the audience will be for the shoujo manga? It's women. So it's girls, but technically teenage girls, teenage girls. So they were made by women mostly. And on the other hand, like shonen manga, it's catered towards boys. So yeah, we can see like there's also a difference between like the portrayal of like shonen manga of women and the portrayal of women in shoujo manga as well. So it's very different. So I mean, like even until now, you can see like the difference between it, right? I mean, one is a romantic story, but one is not really romantic. But you can see like mostly shonen manga, they will sexualize the characters more than they do in the shoujo manga. Yeah. Yeah. And back in the days, back in like 1970s, because 1970 is the time where really like manga was like became like a boom. Everything was a boom from there. 1970s. Shoujo manga became a boom because of the the Rose of Versailles. I'm gonna say this wrong again. The rose of ちょっと待って Rose of Versailles. This time I get it right, okay? The Rose of Versailles. So this manga is one of the most prominent manga. Do you know why? It is the landmark of shoujo manga. It is the landmark of gender neutral, androgynous. It is the landmark of BL too. BL also start from there because of and also a little bit of Yuri as well. So this manga is literally talking about revolution, right? But this manga itself is so revolutionary. So I remember I was talking to my professor about this, and then my professor, yeah, I did read about this manga before, and I was like, そうですね、革命の漫画なんですね, you know, it's a revolutionary manga, right? I told my professor, and then he said, which one do you mean? Is it about the story or is the manga itself revolutionary? I was like, both. I would say both. Yeah. So I didn't really read. I only read like the summary and also read some academic papers regarding to like how they talk about this manga. So technically, I think like regarding of like androgynous, because of like the main character itself, like she dresses very masculine while keeping the femininity too. So oh yeah, and that's from there, that's also the birth of Bishonen, beautiful boys. And that's we start the BL from there. So technically, like we have, okay, so the whole timeline is like this. So we have the birth of the shoujo manga, right? And on the other hand, and then we have Yuri, the GL. So it branches into two parts. One is the GL part, and then that's the BL part. So the GL, which is Yuri, it takes place more. Takes the troops from like back in the Meiji period and everything, and then they would just put it into the literacy itself. For BL, it's a very new thing. So for the BL, it's like it derives from the Rose of Versailles, the androgynous portrayal of characters, and also men, beautiful boys, not men, beautiful boys, handsome men. And that, there we go. And then the whole branch is just like spread out like that. So it's very interesting if you see in that perspective. Yes. I'm pretty sure it impacted most of the world since it referenced so many other words. I think Pokemon. I mean, I don't really know about Pokemon, so I don't. I mean, yeah, technically, the Pokemon is also like one of the revolutionary ones that inspire a lot of like works. After all, because at that time it's a new thing. It's a new thing, yeah. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Women who like BL is called Fujoshi, right? Yes, a woman who likes BL, which is who really likes BL. I can say that. It's called Fujoshi. Fujoshi means kusaru. So the kanji of Fujoshi is kusaru, and it's rotten. And then joshi is women. So it's literally means like rotten women. Any reason why is it called like that? This is a very good question that I haven't dived in depth at. So I will do some research and I'll get back to you. But yes, they were called Fujoshis. Because I think that maybe it's because like they like BL, and then like liking BL is kind of shone upon society. It's kind of like the word otaku itself. So the otaku word also changes from time to time, from a very negative word to they take it back again, and then it becomes like a neutral term right now. Like people will say that, oh, you know, I'm a otaku and this and otaku and that. And then recently I do think that the image of otaku also changed a lot, and depends on what generations you are born in. So if you're born in the more like the 90s or the 2000s, you know, the otaku image you have is more. Do you know the anime of like Ore no imoto ga konna ni kawai wage ga nai, Ore imo? So I think like there was like one like female character, I forgot her name. She dresses like, you know, the 2000s otaku. So that's how like the otaku looks like. But you know, and then they will say that, oh, you know, otakus are fat people, you know, they don't know how to take care of themselves, and always the only thing that they like is their 2D anime waifus. You know, that's the stereotype of like otakus, right? Back in the days. And then right now, you know, when we talk about otakus, we have more female otakus, and that's also very different, because like female otakus, the stereotype of like female otakus right now, when to me, is what I see where I go to like several, you know, exhibitions and events, anime events as well, and also HoloFest and Expo. What I see is like they dress in the fashion that is called jiraike. Jiraike means the cute goth style, the fashion itself. And I see a lot, not only one, not only two, but a lot. Especially like I went to Puroseika's events, concerts a lot, like every year, and I see a lot of them. Like they were dressed in like the yandere jiraike. I'm gonna search what's the English word for the jiraike English. Yeah, so it's technically jiraike. They don't give me landmine type. So it's a subculture and aesthetic originating for Japan. They're heavily based on teens hanging out. And so it's basically like the yandere kind of type. That you see a lot in like anime events, actually. Which I think that it's fascinating in a sense, you know. Like I do wonder why, like why is female otakus they dress that way, you know. I know it's cute, you know, it's a fashion that you wouldn't see out in the streets. Maybe if you're brave enough you can do that, but most likely they wouldn't dress like that. And the only time that you will see that fashion is either in Harajuku or in anime events. But there are so many fashions out there, right? They are like not only the jiraike, we have like the Harajuku fashion, you know, the goth fashion as well. So why exactly is jiraike? Why jiraike? You know, landmine girls. Yeah. I mean, like you can also see one of the Honeyworks song, which is called Watashi wa watashi no koto o aishite kawaikute gomen. Yeah, kawaikute gomen too. You can see like that's technically it. Yeah, that's like the stereotypical like otaku. Yeah. Oh yeah, so talking about that, like, probably a derogatory way of calling someone who's passionate about something. So that, I mean, otaku is technically like a need, right? So it's similar to the English word of need, where, you know, you have like a negative image of them, you know. They have like a certain knowledge. They are really good in a certain knowledge, but very bad at everything. But instead, like right now, mostly you say that, oh, you're otaku of this. Like people wouldn't think that much anymore. Like saying that, oh, you know, you have no life, you know. Instead, because there was one thing is like, you know, introverts and extroverts, right? But extroverts are more socialized, so, you know, the social parties. I think this is similar like anywhere else in the world, and also the culture too. Like, you know, extroverts, they have like more successful life, where the society deems what is successful and what is happiness. So basically what society will say is like, oh, in order to be successful in life, you have a guidebook that means that, oh, you need to graduate in college in time, and then you need to find a good job, and then after the job you try to get promotion, and then you get a wife, and then you get kids, and then you have kids, and then you die. Technically it's like that, right? So that's how like the society deems happiness in a sense, right? So once you have hobbies, you know, the hobbies will probably fit in the way that will stop you from being quote unquote happy. That's what the society thinks, right? And that's the thing in Japan, because, you know, we have anime girls and the people say, oh, you know, I don't need to get married anymore, I don't need to socialize with people anymore, blah, 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 stuff like that. So that's why they say that otaku tends to bring like a negative image to them. But, you know, there was one topic that I really want to dive into. It's just like the maid cafes. The maid cafes and the 2.5D experience they give to the customers, right? Because I went to maid cafes before for 2 times, and I went to a BL cafe once. I hate the BL cafe very much. Their service is not really that good. I don't know why I go there. I paid so much money for nothing. But for the maid cafes are quite okay though. The first time I went is me and my friend, and then when we went there, you know, they were really cute maids. You know, they were, oh, hello, you know, even though we are women, they would say that, oh, it's okay, you know, like, ojo-sama okaeri nasai. Oh, they are really cute, you know, they're really attentive, you know, they talk to us, you know, oh, doko kara kimasu ka, where do you come from, you know, how do you get here, how do you know this cafe, stuff like that. And then we are really we have a chance to see a performance which is paid by a regular. Oh, which like the regular was like a middle-aged man who has like a bunch of like photos, and he was just like sitting at the corner. I mean, obviously like he ordered his favorite maid, and then the favorite maid would come and talk to him like that, and he would be like so happy, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna buy concerts, can you sing? And then suddenly like the whole maid cafe was like, yo, we have live, you know. And then I remember like the maid was singing Love Life song, the Snow Halation. It was really fun though, and then we were like, whoo, and then me and my friend was like so awkward, be like, this is the first time we are here, be like, ide. And then we got like omurice as well. We go omurice, and then they write Hato, and then my friend's name and my name, and say Moe, and I was, oh, that's so cute. And technically I had a good time over there. And the second time I went was with my brother. That was a bit awkward because I had to like translate everything for my brother in terms of like Japanese and everything, and we did have fun, but I think like at that time, because it was last year actually, and they changed a lot, which is they imply alcohol in maid cafes, which like the first time I went, they don't have that menu, but the second time they went, they do have alcohol. So we do see like some regulars, mostly male customers, they also order alcohols, you know, like otsumami, like some snacks as well, while having like a beer. So it makes me think about like, if you already serve alcohol in like maid cafes, and maid cafes was supposed to be like alcohol free. I mean, I know like some might say that, oh, you know, it's a business thing and they do anything to get the business, but aren't you the same as like other girls bar or like other host clubs at a hostess club, you know, in Kabukicho? So that's what I was thinking actually, but the regulars might think differently, because you know the hostess club and maid cafes are very different kinds of like concepts too. Maid cafes, they give more on the experience of being served by a maid, I suppose. But yeah, that was an interesting topic to dive into actually. But this topic, I think my friend is more in depth of it, so maybe if we have if our time's met, maybe we can ask her over this program, and then we can have like a conversation talk for this stream as well. Yes, yeah. So the maid cafe one is also very interesting as well. There are a lot of team cafes in Japan actually. I mean, there are also butler cafes, you know, butler cafes for women as well. That one you need to reserve a place, you cannot go straight away, and it's super expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive. And then you know what, they have Danso Cafe, which is women cross dress cafe. They have BL cafes, a lot of cafes actually here. If you want to explore, there's a lot of things you can explore. Rich Ojo Samazone, I think so though. I think so as well. I think the butler cafe is just for like rich Ojo. Yo, can I just say, talking about like the experience like in BL cafes, right? So like when we go, I had a fairly bad experience with that cafe. I will never go again. But what I see is so we were sitting like at a kind of like a tree stump, something like that. It's a tree aesthetic wood thing, and then like behind us was like a sofa, and then there's like a small table, and then I think like behind us was the regulars. Yo, can I just say like whenever like the staff like they come and then they entertain them. Whoa, they keep saying, oh, you know, I'm gonna order this, I'm gonna order that. It's like throwing money on them, you know. But like, okay, I'm gonna order this for you, ne. I'm gonna order this, then so you better do this in front of us, and then you have like a menu called the BL menu where it's a pokey game, so you can choose like 2 staff members, and then you can ask them to act out like a scene that you fantasize or you want them to act out. Not explicit, of course. Like maybe you say, oh, you know, I wanted to act like a scene of like where this staff A would be the tsundere boy, and the staff B would be like, oh, you are coming to get me, and then but I don't want to go home, but I'm mad at you, stuff like that. And then they have the poke and they kiss. But they don't really kiss, but they show that, oh, we kiss, something like that. So and then you pay 900 yen for that poke game, and then you get some poke. I think like a pack of pokies, which you probably can buy in the store for like less than 100 yen, but it's fine, you're buying for the service anyway. But yeah, so I keep seeing them doing that, like keep on throwing money, 900. I mean, like they're rich anyways, so as long as they're happy, it's fine, right? But it was a very interesting experience, actually, to be there in the same space with them. And I was like, yo, that's how you throw money? Yo, okay, got it, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's part of my experience in like BL cafes. I would like to explore more, actually, like more of the concept cafes. I mean, not only the cafes that they give you more what's it called, services, but also like, you know, animal cafes, because they are cute. That's all. I went to a Shiba cafe before. We are going back to Zatsudan right now, but you know, I went to a Shiba cafe before. It was so cute. The Shiba the Shiba Inus was like just like, wow, and then there was so much Shiba Inu. I was like, cute. Can I touch? I do, but I don't want to touch. And then the dogs were just like running around, and then they were like so active. But in the end, we touched a little bit. Pat his head a little bit, but we didn't pat that much because the Shiba Inu are kind of like they don't really want to bother us, so they were just like running around. So that was cute. But anyways, I need to drink water. Okay. Any questions or anything that you wanna clarify as well? You know, you can write in the chat. I was actually planning this stream to be not that long, actually, like 1 hour to like 1.5 hours. And yeah, and I think like this script actually covers around like 1 hour, which is good. But for me, it's like, yo, the script is actually quite long. It's like all words. It's all like words and notes. So yeah, you know, talking about that, right, I really want to cover like the oiran now. The oiran and the geishas and their life, and like, you know, I wanted to know more about like their, like how they get promoted, you know, how they get promoted into like the oiran, and then how they promote themselves, you know, like how is it by the numbers of men you sleep? Or I know like mostly like, you know, it depends on like how fluent are you, or like how skillful are you in order to, like, to climb up the rank. So the higher the rank, the more you don't need to deal with like random people. You know, you can choose your client. Basically, you can choose the rich clients, or you can choose the wealthy ones, and then I wanted to know like the love story behind them as well. You know, those like you know, we see like literatures, novels, or even like movies, like the rich courtesans, you know, oh, thank you for the subscribe. The rich I just got the whoosh in my face by my own Yasqueen. I forgot that was there. But anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about I was talking about like the Oirans, right? You know, and then like how they get the monies in order to like to run away with them. Technically run away, like technically like to get them as bride. Or does that happen in real life, or does it not happen in real life? Because we do see them in literature, and it's a forbidden story kind of thing, you know. It's very interesting, it's very exciting, and that's why like in the Edo periods, right, like just like how I mentioned just now. Oh, the notification is not on stream. Oopsie. So you guys didn't hear about the Yasqueen. Hiya. Okay, never mind. Then I was taken aback by my own Yasqueen, but you guys didn't hear about the Yasqueen. So I will say the Yasqueen again. Yasqueen. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's all. So while I was talking, we go back to talking about it. Yeah, so like I was wondering if they do have it. Does that happen often, or it's just purely imagination? You know, because back in the Edo period, like what I said before, right, all the exciting stuff happens in the pleasure quarters, which is, you know, around the Red District area, with the geishas, with the prostitutions, but not back in the domestic house. And then even for now, you know, even like in the Japanese culture itself, you know, technically if you hire like sex workers, it's not considered cheating. But this one is really depends on people's and values, so I can't say for everybody. But apparently like there was this culture, so give and take. Okay, you know, really depends on people and how you deal with your relationships, but that's one thing. So one thing we can see, where does this derive from, is from here, from the Edo period, because they have like a separation between the pleasure quarters and also domestication. So it's two different things, right? Two different things, because one is arranged marriage. It's mandatory for you to get married and have a house, have family, in order to alleviate in the society, or in order to blend into the society. While the pleasure quarters is just for pleasure, then there's no romantic love involved into it. So and then they separate it. But in reality, can we really separate it between, you know, lust and spiritual love? The modern world doesn't really think that way, right? But some people can. So yeah, I mean, the culture wise, back in Japan, it's viewed like that. Yeah. Jan jang, So yes, that's I think that's the conclusion. I think we stray a little bit back and forth, but that's the whole episode of today's podcast stream. If you have no questions anymore, or if you have no comments as well, so I will just stop here, I think. So that's the conclusion of the as relationships, basically. And you can try, you know, when you can try to figure out, you know, when you are reading like Yuri mangas recently. So one of the contemporary Yuri mangas that I think is very good in talking about as relationship while while breaking out from that bond is watashi no Yuri wa shigoto. Yuri is my job. They do have anime adaptation, so you can watch the anime as well. They have manga. The manga is until book number 13 for Japanese. For English, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's around 10 or 11. I'm not really sure. You can check. But you probably can find it in sites or like, you know, online. You can read it online. But I would really recommend Watashi no Shigoto wa Yuri if you want to know more about the S relationship and how real life love, which is the lesbian love, which is you know, the love after the whole onesan imoto kanke, if affects the original S relationship, which I just talked about. The S relationship itself, right? The passionate friendship, you know, that was deemed to be a phase, you know. And what if, you know, there is real love, real emotions tied into it, and you want to bring to the next step? So what happens, you know? So this particular manga explores around that, and I think that it's a very good manga, which I do a lot of extensive research on it for my thesis. It was written in my thesis too. One thing I'm gonna dedicate probably one stream talking about like mangas that I recommend, and then like what is it about, like how is it like with the themes and everything. But just like a summary, kind of like a summary with what my findings were. Is this the author itself, like they were not afraid to use like real life terms, where I do say like homosexuality, dosei, or lesbian. The term itself, it's very political. It has a lot of political connotations into it. So like most of the Yuri manga artists, they hesitate to use it because like once you use all these terms, it will become like more political, and like people will have like a different way of viewing too. Like it became real. This is like the main point of it, because the main point of S relationship is supposed to be stay in fantasy. But when you put lesbian, when you put homosexuality, when you put like the terms that we normally use in the queer community inside of a manga, then everything will become so real that some people don't like it. And that's why Yuri exists in Japan as a genre, as a same-sex relationship, but Japan still doesn't recognize same-sex marriage or like the LGBTQ rights. So we can see that that's the difference of it, right? And this manga is not afraid to use all those terms into the manga, which I am very surprised. When I was reading, I was like, oh, what? And then the author even used like the terms that are known for the queer community inside the manga, and I was like, author, are you queer? Sometimes I was thinking like, maybe you queer, maybe you're not. Okay, you know, benefit of the doubt. Okay, I will okay. But yes, so I would really recommend you, if you wanna have like if you wanna know how it navigates through as relationship to like realism of lesbianism and homosexuality and stuff like that. Yeah. Hey, wait, you study in the art university? No, I didn't study in art university. I went to a normal university. My field is more on gender and media, manga mostly, and also study a bit about international relations, something like political science, something around there. Yeah. How is the as relationship viewed both in fiction and real life in modern Japan? So this is also a really great question in as relationship view. One of it, like I just talked about, is Watashi no Shigoto. So you can see that how it's viewed technically it's more on like, how do you say, like it's kind of like a phase, right, as relationship. So normally they would just take it to the manga level, to a trope level. That's all. They wouldn't like imply into the real life saying that, oh, you know, one-sama ii ne, shiteki desu ne. You know, nobody really talks like that at this point in girls' school. But I do think that since I didn't study in girls' school, and also I didn't study in girls' school in Japan, so I couldn't say it for myself. But based on a lot of like Marin Sencho's Taiken, you know, based on her, I do think that people who study in girls' school will have a little bit of like swaying exploration. I can say exploration, you know, with exploration in their own sexuality, since, you know, they are only exposed to same gender because it's a homosocial space, right? So they may have a little bit of like girl crush here and there, and that's why we have the S relationship. So it also, I think that it also see that as a phase, like, you know, technically in the West we have like, oh, you know, being a lesbian, it's, you're not a lesbian, you're just in the phase, you know, you just haven't met the right man, something like that. So I do think it's something similar between there and here in Japan. So but I do think like people who are attracted, women who are attracted to women, they are also valid. Women that explore and then they say, oh, maybe I'm bi, or maybe I'm straight, you know, that's also valid as well. So for technically Japan itself, I think it's going to the right pathway towards the LGBTQ rights, where they validize, like, you know, sexuality is a thing. They wouldn't like shun people down and say, as relationship is not a real relationship, or women loving women is not a thing, you know, you need to be everybody's not gay, okay, everybody's straight. So yeah, I need to check this manga. Please do check this manga, please. It's a very good manga, and they also have an animation too. I have like a lot of like good recommendations. Like recently they do produce like good Yuri mangas. I mean, they do. Okay, so the thing about Yuri manga, it's a genre. So they have a lot of kinds of Yuri in this whole genre. Okay, so this is also one of like the bias. So I tend to read more on like the mangas that are more related towards like reality. And you know, I tend to avoid NTRs because I don't really like NTRs. But I mean, there are also NTRs, you know, the bad ones too, you know, like Citrus as well. Citrus is one of the ones that is just problematic there. They explore another team as well. We have the ones that you just want the fluff, you know, you don't want the realism, so you just want the fluffiness of the Yuri, the purity of the Yuri. So you that's also one. And then you want the explicit version of the Yuri, you also have that. So there are a lot of like kinds of Yuri as well. I mean, even in BL too. BL, they also have a lot of like intense ones. Yes, you know, I brought Fien to Ikebukuro once, and then I say that let's see. So because like there was a flaw of like BL mangas. Oh yeah, that was intense. Like literally I cannot imagine like the cover itself is so explicit, like, and it's like in public. I don't know how to. I was like, even I see that, I was like, I'm getting like secondhand embarrassment to say that. Should I? I mean, I should. Whoa, you know. But you know, but if you think about it, so if it revolves around heterosexual couples, this all of this, it will be considered R18 already because it's technically R18. You know, that's technically, it's very intense. Like literally, I see from the cover, I technically can know like where is this gonna go, literally. You know. Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they do have all those the cozy ones as well. That one's a good one. I know I normally read the cozy and comedic ones. The intense one, not really that much. Unless my friends say that it's good and then I watch it. But oh, okay. Okay. But literally, because like when we go there, like there was like one, I remember vividly, it's etched in my mind, which is not good. There was like one book which is like literally it's talking about BDSM, and you can see already like it's the whole manga is gonna be revolving around that, unless you know they have like some kind of plot to saying that the people say, oh no, I don't consent to that. I don't know, but I didn't watch it. I didn't see it anyway. But yeah, there was a because you know what, how I know from the art, it literally like there was bondage, like rope bondage. I was like, and then the only cover part was his pee, but he's having a boner too, so pee. Yeah. There's no explanations for that, and I was like, this is broad daylight, this is public, and oh, but nah. But you know, it's gay porn. Yeah, that was fun. Oi oi pee, oi oi pee. But anyways, I think that I'm just gonna, it's been 1.5 hours, so I think this is a good way to end. Oh wait, in the West we have the phase, the feeling, but there's a lot of media that talks about exploration of those feeling, different stages, person. Yeah, the thing about like the Western side, right? The Western side is more quote unquote progressive in the sense of like in the media, like you talk about that, like the explorations between sexuality, and then especially in the media recently, the contemporary media, they do have a lot of like, you know, sexuality talk or LGBTQ related movies that talk about this, right? Now Japan, they don't really I do think they have, especially around BL. I think like with the help of like BL getting into like the mainstream media, especially into like live action dramas, movies, we do see a lot of people started to shift their views regarding like gay couples or gay people too, which is good. But anyways, I think we're just gonna stop over here, since if you don't have any more questions left. Bye bye then. Thanks for the Academia Yuri came for the level with Yuri, so I appreciate. But hello, thank you so much for sticking by as well. And I hope you guys learned something new. You know, that's my main goal of here. The main goal of here is that everybody learns something new, at least like for something to take back and to think about it. Or be like, well, are you going to use it? I mean, you can use it to flex with your people, to your friends, to your families, to say, did you know I learned about this? Yeah. But hey, you know, I also do art too, so you know, just drop by if you can, drop by if you want. Yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next stream maybe. I mean, yeah, you know, I'm also a big fan of Yuri. That's why, you know, my my whole entire thesis was revolving around Yuri. You know what? What would be so interesting to research, to talk about as well? The Yuri-ness and the Yuri bait in the VTuber community. And in the idol industry too. Am I gonna get flamed? Hell yeah, I am. But is it an interesting topic to talk about? Hell yeah, it is. Yuri is the only genre of manga I read. I technically read a lot of genres of manga, including like the hentai ones, just for reference purposes too. But Yuri is the one that I only have like physical books that I would really buy from them. Others I would just like read online. Maybe just purchase it online, but yeah. But anyways, I think I'm just gonna end the stream over here. So for the next stream tomorrow, I may or may not be stream, or may have like a Discord exclusive content. So if you wanna, if you wanna know more about that, maybe we will watch some horror movies. Who knows? Because I really wanted to watch that particular horror movie that I wanted to watch with you guys. So I'm also really into like horror movies and also horror stuff. So maybe the next time the stream, it would be not about Yuri, it would be about torture methods, because I also really wanted to talk about that as well. It's very random, I know, it's very like jump into like a certain issue to issue, but hey, this is an IzumiCafe, so I talk whatever I want. So please come if you want to learn something new. To this cafe, where we can have a chat, have a coffee, and we can just chill. Which torture methods, huh? Which country? Every country. Maybe the Asian country, because I know that China has a lot of like torture methods that is really out of my mind blown poof, Wow. Yeah, the Discord server, if you want to join, it's down below in the description link. So, feel free to join. And we'll see you over there. Or I can see you in the next stream. So I'm just gonna end the stream over here. And thank you so much for coming. And I'll see you on the next one. Next one probably be Monday. And I'll see you. Bye bye. Arigato.